tried the inns and the hotels. The message was plain as day. You get no refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. One had his Juanita and a baby boy they named Miguel. On the other side of the line it's heaven, on this side it's a living hell. So you do what it takes, pick up stakes and try to escape the drought. But when you get to the border of the INS, they got the welcome wagon now. You get no refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. Now you got your haves and your have-nots, and no more snubbing in between. Religion to preach about loving your brother, but they run by the bowling green. Now there's a lot of folks looking over the edge of that faith we piled so high. When they all decide to come over the border, time to kiss it all goodbye. There'll be no refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge and no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary here. No refuge, no respite, and no sanctuary.
Mira, me lo pones aquí. Adri,
Me alegro de verte.
Manolo,
¿Cómo tiene la familia?
Súper bien. Me acuerdo mucho de ti con los problemas.
gracias. Adri, póntelo ya. Esto ya está,
bien?
¿no?
¿No hay problema?
Ahora vamos a hacer un chequeito, ¿vale?
Juanma, ¿qué pasa? Eso te iba a decir, si llevamos sin vernos. Hablo con tu gente. Estoy al
terminan
loro de los temas. Estoy al loro.
A Juan habría que ponerle también microfonarlo.
No, él ha dicho que dentro de un ratito, como esto dura él para el final,
Sí, vale.
como es hora y media, ¿no? Más o menos
Hora y cuarto.
Bueno, a los 3 cuartos de hora pues ya
Fantástico. Muy bien. Sí.
Sí, hola.
Veremos a ver.
Hola,
Veremos
hola.
a ver. Ya veremos.
Hola. 1, 2, ok.
Lo he firmado otra vez. Ha quedado desierto. Lo he firmado esta mañana.
No se ve, ya lo he probado antes. En principio lo voy a intentar llevar
Sí, pero, hijo, no podemos hacer... Yo he firmado en cuanto me lo han colocado.
¿Me pongo aquí el móvil y no habrá problemas, no? Es que hay una manera de poner aquí porque aquí se nota. Sí. ¿Sí? ¿Hablo?
Pues... Lo que pasa es que se ha quedado
Uno,
desierto,
dos.
tío.
¿Se escucha?
Entonces...
No se escucha. Ahora se escucha. ¿Vale?
Totalmente. Con lo cual, pues bueno, nada. Pues mira, esto es un poquito...
¿Cómo la va a regular?
Perdona, ¿le importa subir al escenario a hacer una prueba de sonido?
No, desde luego que no. Disculpadme. Que haga la prueba.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 1.
A este avance.
Welcome to this overview in advance of the third Global Forum of Local Governments that will be taking place, God willing, in 2021. We will later ask our mayor, Juan Espada, to give us more or less the possible date in which this forum will be taking place. And we will be doing it here in the conference center in Seville. And we certainly hope that it can be done face to face, that this can be an in-presence event. This will mean that the pandemic allows us to do so. We are going to talk today about what the local governments can do to face the human challenges. In particular, there is one sustainable development goal, which is number 11, that we consider to be a cross-cutting goals. We want the cities and the communities to be inclusive, safe, resilient, sustainable. This is something that at the end of the day will mean the well-being of citizens, development of cities, and of course, why not? The economic development as well, and it would not leave anyone behind. Bearing in mind a governance, and I would like to paraphrase something that our mayor said. He said that governance was a very complex process where the institutional decisions, where decision making, where collective action go hand in glove. And this is why what we're going to do today, what we're going to present today, is so important in this advance overview of the forum, because the city of Seville had committed to specific issues with the other local governments during the global forum that took place in 2019. So we're going to talk today here about a practical tool, a tool for collaboration, a digital platform that will allow us to bring together, that all local governments can bring together good practices on water, food, transport, tourism, waste, housing, and of course, the good practices and experiences related to the implementation of the SDGs in the cities. Fortunately, new technologies, the digital world, allows us to create such a platform, but it also allows us to be connected right now with many mayors, with many representatives of local governments across the world. Of course, I would like to greet them. I would like to welcome them, just as I will do so with the people who are here. And I want to greet everyone who is connected to the forum's website. Welcome. Good afternoon to all of you who are here present today. It is a reduced number because of the limited capacity that is allowed in certain events where we have to maintain social distance. And of course, thank you, Mayor, for this new initiative that once again places Seville in the world. It portrays Seville as a welcoming city, a city that wants to build bridges with the SDGs, with the Urban 2030 agenda, and of course the fight against the climate change. This is something that I know that you are personally committed to achieving, and I know that you are doing a great work. You're doing a great job within the EU in the Committee of the Regions. This is something very important. So I would like to start now. I would like to remember something that happened on the 24th to the 26th of January here. This was when the second Global Forum of Local Governments took place. 170 cities were represented at the forum. I would say that was quite a significant number of cities. And on the last day, something very important happened. A large number of these representatives got together at Torre Sevilla. And we agreed on many experiences, on many practical best practices. We agreed on what was being done correctly in the municipally owned companies. This was a forum that was being moderated by Carmen Castaño, who is today the coordinator of municipally owned companies. So I would like to invite her to come to the podium and talk to us about what happened there, because I think that's a brilliant starting point for this conversation. Hello to everyone, and if we socially distance, I'll take off the mask. I want to greet not only the people present here, but also all the people who are connected from across the world. People who are participating in this forum. Carmen, that was an important starting point, don't you think? That meeting was very important. I'm sure still remember about it. Yes, of course. This was the second forum of local governments. I think that was the highlight of several days that we spent together and that were very enriching. And that event you mentioned, I think, was a starting point. I think it allowed us to be more permanently connected. And of course, I'll talk about this later. This meeting was also presided by our mayor. There were 25 mayors from across the world, and also the representatives, the maximum representatives of different municipally owned companies. And why were these people there? Because basic services such as water and sanitation, cleaning the streets, waste collection, housing policy, food, as you have also mentioned. Well, these are services that are essential and are shared by all cities. Therefore, we thought that the municipally owned companies had to be present. I must say very proudly that these are fully public companies. Well, these essential services that I have mentioned are shared, are common to all city councils across the world. And we share not only the interest in these type of services, but also the challenges. And this ties in with what you mentioned. It has to do with the sustainable goals, sustainable challenges that appear here in front of us. These are social challenges like quality water for everyone, housing for everyone, as well as other challenges such as urban clean transport, circular economy that can also be promoted by the waste collection services. So these are essential services. I repeat again, this is something that allows the municipally owned companies to be present at this meeting. Now, there were many agreements signed at that event, weren't they? What were these agreements about? Oh, yes, we signed 30 agreements together with those of the first forum, represent 76 agreements. It's a network. I think that's a network that we hope will be increasingly stronger, better connected, and that we can all cooperate more, because that's the purpose of this forum. We want to share experiences. We want to share best practices as well as challenges and solutions. And I like this word, to share, because at that time, Seville had not still adopted its strategic plan, but it has now been adopted. It is an ongoing process. This is a strategic plan that uses sharing in two terms, sharing with the citizens, so that the citizens feel that they're represented, that they can participate in this process, and they can also participate and share with the different cities across the world. And this is done through an instrument that is this agreement. So as I mentioned, 30 agreements were signed in the second global forum. They addressed different issues. Some of them were very general, but there were also more specific goals. The city, which is the house of everyone, where we all live, we do all kinds of things: culture, sports, tourism. We do all kinds of activities. We have our heritage, our cultural heritage, artistic heritage. In addition to the services, these essential services that I have mentioned, and I don't want to repeat them, but this is the content of our agreements. Do you think, Carmen, that the balance is positive? The signing of these agreements with other local governments has been positive. Oh yes, I think it has been very positive. In fact, Seville is a city that has always been open to the world, and now even more than before. Our mayor, since he started his term, has focused highly on the need for Seville to share with the rest of the world, just as we have done throughout our history. And this is allowing us to do so. Just to mention a few things, we have been to Rostov, which I believe it will also be taking the floor. Well, we have been to Rostov. They have come here. Our children do sports. We have had many visits at Emacesa to see how water distribution actually works, how waste treatment works. We have also had visits to and from Toulouse, because we share the industry, the aerospatial industry. And I could mention Lipassam, the many visits that have taken place. And this is all about sharing about our solutions, and also to learn from others, because that's what sharing is really all about. We have to ensure that both parties have the best solutions. I know that at Rostov, you had this great idea about the platform that will be presented today. I was talking with Emilia San, who is the General Secretary of the CLG. We talked with her about the current context. I'm not sure if we are connected or not, but I think perhaps she can tell us about what we are doing for this network of local governments. Hello. This is challenges, universal challenges like none in the past. Local governments and regional governments across the world have shown that they are to the task to overcome these difficult times. They have been partners with other groups of people, with the scientific community, with the international community, but above all, they have supported their communities. This pandemic has made clear the important role that local governments and regional governments play in providing services, essential services to ensure also health. It has also made clear that there are things that we can no longer accept, such as inequality, and also that we need to support more the civil servants. We have to determine which are the truly essential services. We have to support the people who take care of us. Solidarity has become something that guarantees and ensures our safety, and this must continue once this pandemic is overcome. We can no longer do things as we have done in the past in our cities and territories, because things have changed. What we have done so far, all the people that we have lost along the way, have to be taken into account, and the things that sacrifice made by so many people must be to ensure that we can create a better world, a world that is created within the parameters of the Sustainable Development Goals. We think they have to be a benchmark for our new social contract. It is necessary to move forward in this transformation, and this is why we have to learn collectively as a network of local governments we have done our best to inspire other people so that the local regional governments of the world can exchange experiences, they can learn from each other, and to develop strategies jointly for a better future. We have to have a pact for the future with the communities. These pact for the future has to be carried out with the communities, with the planet, and with all governments, all levels of government. And this is why we have to continue to learn. And we are very pleased to be once again part of the third Global Forum of Local Governments organized by the Seville City Council. Let us continue to learn. Let us continue to inspire each other, because this is the only way to move forward. Thank you very much. Cities are very important, aren't they, for the 2030 agenda for the Sustainable Development Goals? Well, it has been a pleasure to listen to her, to see her again. She was also here in the previous forum. Well, I think the implementation of the 2030 agenda, the achievement of the SDGs, will not be possible if it is not done in the cities. Fortunately, cities hold a very important position in the national, European, and UN agenda. Cities should have always had that role, and I think that this role has now been recognized. So we really have to take on this challenge. Let us now connect with Quito. We have Maria Veronica Aria, who is the CEO of the Coalition of Cities Against Climate Change. This is something that we are all working on. We are all trying to fight against climate change. I'm not sure if she is She is connected to us. No, hello, my name is Veronica Arias. I am the CEO of the Coalition of Cities of America Against Climate Change. And it is a pleasure to be part of this platform of the Seville City Council, a platform that will undoubtedly help us to exchange experiences between the different cities of Latin America and the Caribbean that make up this coalition C75, as well as other governments that are part of this global. The exchange of experiences in this situation in which we are suffering a pandemic is important because the cities are at the front line. We will be learning the positive and negative lessons of how to face this situation. But it is also important to take on board climate change, how mobility, how adapting to climate change, what it means to be resilient, what is circular economy. These specific examples by cities that have been able to put into place good practices will be very helpful to all of us. So I invite you to join this platform, and we will also be collaborating with this platform through a city-based diplomacy that will benefit all of us in this exchange of experiences, and that is absolutely crucial to bring the cities into the challenges faced by this world. Thank you very much. So now that the multilateralism appear to be in crisis, it seems to be that what is important is to collaborate, to create coalitions, alliances, to work together like this coalition C75. This is the only way to move forward. Yes, it is the only way. And the people who have taken the floor thus far have spoken about this as an opportunity. We have to be optimistic. Both have spoken about the pandemic, the situation created by COVID-19. Now, I think this is an excellent opportunity for all of us to move forward, to overcome this terrible situation that has affected the whole world. I think it is I think this is the best time for that coalition, that alliance, and to move forward with the Sustainable Development Goals. You were talking to me about Rostov-on-Don. It is the capital of the southern district of Russia. I think it has a little more than 1 million inhabitants. And the River Don flows through the city, and that's why it is called Rostov-on-Don. The deputy mayor has sent us a very interesting communication. Svetlana Kambulova, she was also here. She came also here to Seville. You've probably met her. She's the deputy mayor of Rostov-on-Don. I'm not sure if we have this greetings that she has sent us. Dear colleagues, on behalf of the city of Rostov-on-Don, I congratulate the team from Seville, our twin city, for the launch of the large-scale digital project that is the City Goals platform by local governments. The city of Rostov-on-Don is pleased to be part of this project. The city of Seville is our youngest twin city. Although we twinned only a year ago, we have already taken the first steps towards a mutually beneficial collaboration. Today, in such difficult times for everyone, cities are precisely where the changes demanded by the world need to be initiated, primarily in the social field. The digital platform will help cities around the world to come together to exchange their experience and projects and seek together the right solutions to today's global challenges. The socioeconomic development of cities and towns depends primarily on efficient planning and accurate implementation. In 2018, the city of Rostov-on-Don created a new administrative system for strategic city planning until 2035. The key document in this system is the strategy for the socioeconomic development of Rostov-on-Don until the year 2035. We fully understand that human capital has become the primary source for development today across the world. Precisely for this reason, we chose the sustainability concept and sustainable development goals as a methodological basis for our strategy. The concept involves a unified development of 3 areas: social, economy, and space. Individuals are at the point of intersection of these areas with their life activity, their needs, and the development of human potential in our city. We made an enormous effort to ensure transparency, involving many city inhabitants, young people, experts, representatives from the fields of science, culture, arts, and administration. I want to remind you the city has 8 districts, and these districts organized 14 town hall events in which over 3,000 people took part. In 2019, during the Global Urban Forum, Cities of Opportunity Connecting Culture and Innovation held in Abu Dhabi, the mayor of the city of Zinaida Neyarkovina signed on behalf of Rostov-on-Don the Declaration of Local Voluntary Reviews on Achieving the SDG. The 3 areas of the strategy are divided into priority lines of work, and there are 24 in total. More than 3,000 people participated in these town halls, as I mentioned before. The primary drivers of the city's development are SME development, tourism and tourism infrastructure, and implementation of social projects to ensure a comfortable life for the inhabitants. But many things remain to be done. The detailed plan for implementing the strategy until 2035 has been prepared, is under progress. We can already share with you some successful practices in these areas. And it includes a tourism and tourism infrastructure, and we hope to be able to have success in different areas. We have published a detailed information on the digital platform so that you are well aware of what has been done. Unfortunately, in 2020, the adverse epidemiological situation caused by the new coronavirus has had a significant impact on the economy of the city and the whole world. This has also led to a substantial growth in the digital economy. In July of this year, the presidential decree on the national development goals of the Russian Federation until 2030 was approved. All these factors require amendments to the strategy. This means that to prevent the worsening of the economic situation due to the pandemic, all levels of power, federal, regional, local, adopted a wide range of measures to support businesses. Our city applies a reduced tax for the most affected sectors. A moratorium on inspections has also been introduced. Lease payments on municipally owned properties have been deferred. And commercial and leisure centers, as well as hotels, are exempt from real estate taxes. Currently, the Rostov Municipal Foundation for Business Management supports grants for concessional loans. We also place close attention to fighting the spread of the virus. About 30% of workers in all companies in the city are teleworking, including all workers over 65 years of age. The companies have implemented measures such as temperature measurement, use of gloves and masks, social distancing, hand sanitizer dispensers, continuous disinfection of the public spaces, limited capacity in entertainment venues. Bars and restaurants currently close at 10 p.m. Dance floors and clubs are closed. And there is ongoing monitoring and control of drug supply in pharmacies. There are also free tests and a hotline for COVID-related assistance. Today, 3 COVID hospitals with an aggregate capacity of 1,600 beds operate in the city, and there are also free home deliveries of drugs for patients with mild or moderate COVID symptoms. Dear friends, it is only through the joint efforts of the inhabitants, entrepreneur friends, and partners at the international level that we will be able to overcome all by joining our efforts of the efforts of international residents, business people. We want to build a new city of Rome, and we are willing to continue to share our experience, its best municipal practices from now on. At the same time, foreign experience and international cooperation are very useful for us to find solutions to today's global problems jointly. This is the only way to face these global problems. I wish you all good health and success in reaching the Sustainable Development Goals, protecting our planet, increasing the quality of life, and improving the prospects for all people across the world. Thank you very much for your attention. Good health to all. Isn't it curious, Carmen, that she stresses how important cooperation and collaboration is? She says that the only way that is important, that we can achieve all this if we bring together the efforts of citizens, governments, international institutions. It's the same language, isn't it? In this meeting that we were talking about before, that took place in Torre Sevilla with 20+ mayors from the different cities that participated in the second forum, we also had Jaime Palop Piqueras, who is the CEO of Emacesa, Seville's municipal water supply and water treatment company. I would like you to also take a seat here. Could you please tell us what was the outcome of that agreement, of those agreements? Hello, my friend. Jaime, the impact of climate change affects everyone if we don't take measures, and now it will be much more difficult and much more costly to adapt to the negative impact. What do you have to say about this? Well, the first thing I want to say is that before climate change was here, providing a water supply and water treatment operations at a reasonable price was not easy. I always tell my friends, when you open the tap of water, you cannot imagine the amount of miracles that have taken place. It's a small miracle. Open the tap and have that water flow. that is a miracle because it has to be treated and it has to be distributed. It is a costly process, but we are all used to simply opening a tap and there we have drinking water. But you know, there is a lot behind this. With climate change, things have become far more complicated. The experts are saying that one of the main problems of climate change is the quantity and quality of water. And this is going to be one of the natural resources that are going to be most affected. So we have to cooperate. This is the moment to share experiences. It is the moment to explain what has already been done, but mainly it is the time to see what have been our failures so that we can learn from our mistakes. The amount of time that you will not lose because you have learned from your mistakes. And the city of Seville had foresaw that not doing anything was not a solution. It's the worst thing you can do, because you may have a climate scenario that can be bad, as has been foreseen, and then you cannot respond to that situation. But dear friends, we're talking about something very serious, that is water supply for human consumption. We're talking about supplying companies, because a large part of the GDP occurs in the cities, in the urban areas. Many jobs are created in the urban setting. Therefore, if we are not ready for climate change, this could lead to a health disaster, an economic and environmental disaster, and we must be aware of this.
So I believe that this forum that we have created here is a wonderful place for us to share what has gone well and what has gone wrong, and so we can learn from each other as friends, as brothers, as neighbors. It's an opportunity that we cannot let go of. And from Embasesa, the municipality company for water, we want to help you to do this. We have made mistakes, of course we have, but we've learned from them. And in this context, as you are very rightly pointing out, it is necessary to cooperate, absolutely. And it's even more important in order to face these situations, because those of us that are acting have a lot to share, and we want to listen to the experiences of everyone that have acted as well. We have chosen techniques and policies which don't imply great infrastructure solutions. We have worked on resilience in terms of reducing the leakages of water, reducing consumption, analyzing tariffs, a list of techniques that are always useful and that are easy to implement, and they're not very high priced. That is our experience. And I would love to listen to other experiences. So the sector of water in this context of climate change, what can you bring to the table in terms of what you do? We can talk about sustainability, but can we talk about sustainability without guaranteeing water and sanitation to companies and people? What sustainability would that be in a region or in a country if we cannot guarantee providing water for people and households and for the different cities? What we would bring, of course, is tranquility to society, acting and adopting decisions and adopting measures that will allow us to, for instance, deal with hardships such as quality of water, floods, or droughts. This, knowing what to do in these situations, would help society. Also, understanding how to make citizens aware of what is happening. To raise awareness is also essential. And the water municipality company is doing a very important part of its job there. Our mayor, Juan Espadas, has always told us Public services have always got a hub, and they have the objective of benefiting citizens. They have to be at the center of all of our work and all of our endeavors. And as a representative of the municipal water company, what we earn, what we share is tranquility, well-being, and satisfaction. And that is what I devote my time to. And that is the objective that the civil municipality has always had in mind. Everything has to be organized around the citizens. Jaime, I would like to also ask you, and I believe that it's very, very interesting for all the local governments that are listening to us, because they're all probably suffering the pandemic. How has a municipal company, a water company, faced this health crisis? How have you managed it? We have started speaking about climate change, and we have just gone down this situation of talking about the pandemic. But it's inevitable to talk about COVID, and it's just the way it is. We have done a lot with regards to fighting COVID. On the one hand, we have always been in connection with the health authorities of the municipality. In a crisis situation, especially in a health crisis situation, we have to listen to experts. And we have surrounded ourselves by experts and also contacted with them and make sure that we made guides to protect the health of those working. We have improved the working environments. We have improved applications, internets, and all of this to allow that people can work from home and to avoid that people go to different places needlessly. We have also, most importantly, and I think this is very, very important in terms of the history of management of water, we have begun to analyze residue water. What were we searching for? We were searching for the presence of the virus, trying to understand whether there were genetic debris in these residual waters, and why, in order to understand and allow to make decisions, to help the health services make the right decisions. We wanted to know which areas were infected, how this was growing and how it was propagating. And this was fundamental to understand the geography of the pandemic within a metropolitan area. We have also analyzed in which areas there were people that were being infected and that were positive in the tests, but also people that were infected but weren't asymptomatic. And those people are the ones that are the most contagious ones. Analyzing water, we were able to pinpoint which areas of the city this was happening. We have also helped to detect when the cases were decreasing and the number of contagions were decreasing. And we have also trusted the health services to tell us where the tests had to be carried out, in which areas, which areas which had care homes for elderly people were the most affected, and all of this with regards to COVID is essential because we had a before and an after. And why? What we are doing was not only analyzing water to treat it, but we were analyzing water not only to understand how much chlorine was in the water, but what we are doing is protecting the health of citizens by analyzing residual water. And that is very, very important. Jaime, what you have done is wonderful. From the municipal water company, maybe people and citizens do not know all of this information, but you are keeping citizens healthy, preserving their health. Please stay with us in this round table. We have spoken a lot lately with the mayor of San Salvador, one of the cities that is most populated in Central America. And there too, they are fighting COVID-19. I would like to connect with Ernesto Luis Bullón García Prieto, who is the mayor of San Salvador. Do we have a connection? I would like to welcome you all from San Salvador to the Global Forum of Local Governments. In this time of global problems, we are coming together. And this forum that you are providing will allow us to share local experiences and to share knowledge and to learn and conform a new future for our societies. From San Salvador, we have committed to be able to comply with the new urban agenda in terms of sustainable development and in all of the different environments, in order to be able to put forth action proposals that will help the cities. Sadly, it cut off. But I can guarantee you that while I've been talking to him during these last few days, they've been doing a wonderful job in San Salvador. They have implemented very, very clearly the Sustainable Development Goals, and they are doing a wonderful job of preserving their citizens and taking care of them during this pandemic. And this is what Carmen was pointing out to. The Millennium Development Goals are essential right now, and the Sustainable Development Goals even more so. We would like to now connect with Morocco, Chauen. We all know it. The beautiful blue buildings, the historical center. We have Mohamed Sefiani from Chauen that is going to intervene and let us know a little bit about what he is doing. First of all, I would like to thank Seville Town Hall and Municipality for organizing this wonderful digital event. I was there 2 years ago for the first edition, but now we see each other virtually, and it's a good opportunity in order to be able to continue and share our knowledge. I would like to share with you a few ideas. In Morocco, the first COVID case happened the 2nd of March, after which we developed a national policy, which was essential. Then we had lockdown, which began the 20th of March. We had 3 months of complete lockdown in all of the Moroccan cities, and Chauen was one of them. The impact that we suffered during the first few months, the health impact, was very well contained because we didn't have any cases of contagion. However, the economic and social impact was very, very problematic because Chauen actually nurtures from sectors such as tourism, which are essential for it, the sector of services, commerce, trade. So we have information about 70% of the activities during the 3 months of lockdown. Most of them had completely ceased. So the economic impact was grave in terms of economy and social impact. In terms of the national policies, we wanted to help those people that were working within companies that required our help and all of the different sectors. Here we have social aid programs, such as the social box, and also informal economy. And in Chauen, we have a lot of informal economy situations with very difficult months, basically because our city is based upon the tourism sector, because in the last few years we have seen a very, very great growth of this sector. Every year we've seen a 30% growth, but sadly from the 20th of March frontiers were closed. Movement between cities was not allowed, and so we suffered the impact of COVID gravely. The next phase of this pandemic happened during the summer. Economy picked up a little bit, but in general, and we are really just hoping right now that we come to an opening of the international frontiers and a little bit more of a pickup in movement and activities and more fluidity. Nonetheless, of course, the municipality has helped those families in need by providing food. And the initiatives not only came from the municipality, but from other institutions and communities. We have also continued to support public services because it wasn't possible to stop all the services that we were providing publicly. Therefore, it was important to support those so that we could carry on the intake of taxes and could carry on with the normal functioning of the city. The cleaning services and basic services have not ceased during these difficult times, and we are preparing for a new era, really. We're going to begin in Morocco to provide the vaccination, and we hope that in the next 3-4 months they will be rolled out. And we hope also that the economy will pick up and will have more possibilities to develop our economic business and basically help all of the companies that need help. We have carried on, of course, working on the infrastructure of the city. We have helped ongoingly those who were in need, and we have tried to stabilize all of the aspects that needed our help. Most importantly, we must foresee what is coming for the future, because that will help us make the right decisions for the inhabitants and improve the local economy conditions to bring more tourism and, of course, more investment. This is a global pandemic and a global crisis. It's not easy to face it. We understand that it's hit most of the cities in the world. So it's important to have an alliance that is green, sustainable, and that learns from history and from the past, because that is what humanity should learn from. Thank you very much. He spoke about cleaning, the importance of cleaning in cities. The citizens of Seville have seen great efforts from the municipality in terms of cleaning. It was wonderful to see Sefiani again. We are very close with Shawan. The endeavor of cleaning this city, the municipal cleaning companies, making sure that the common spaces that we all share were clean, was one of our priorities. They have worked tirelessly to make this happen. All of the municipal companies, I must say, they have done their utter best to make sure that nobody was suffering from lack of water, sanitation, cleanliness. We have cleaned the city every day. We have disinfected it. We have made sure that the buses were working, whether they were clientele or not, in order to make sure that people could go to wherever they needed in their city. In Vicesa, which is the waste management, the municipal housing company, have helped those that couldn't afford housing, have helped them to stay in their homes. The food services and the food provisions have always been there. We haven't lacked anything, and I think it's very, very important to be aware of this. We are very proud, like the mayor of Shawan, of having been able to provide these services. We have provided them for the citizens, for our citizens. We all have to absolutely provide services for our citizens, and that is our commitment. Each of your perspectives could be linked to an objective of the Sustainable Development Goals, really, and I'm very happy about this. I believe that this virtual event is being followed by the mayor of Rabat, and I think he would like to intervene. Mohamed Sariki. I'm going to now speak in French, but next time I shall be speaking in Spanish. We are very honored to be able to participate in this Global Forum of Local Governments and the Seville platform. Seville is our sister city. You are representing here the contributions of cities to make sure the Sustainable Development Goals are a reality for the 2030 agendas and the international agendas, the Climate Paris Agreement, the Africa 2063 agenda, and of course the Sendai Agreement in order to reduce the risks, especially in this health crisis period. Before we continue, I would like to thank the organizing committee and all of the participating partners in this event for allowing us to intervene, to speak about sustainability. I would like to very much thank the Mayor of Seville. This dimension, sustainability, is very much ingrained in our national development plan and is aligned with what we want to do within our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I could only speak of the Sustainable Development Goals if I refer to the fight that we have in Africa against poverty and preserving the health of children. Rabat has joined the UN initiative with the safe Rabat city free of violence against women and children that we are working together with the UN on. Regarding the public lighting network, Rabat City of Light program has pushed forward the sustainability of lighting in the city. We have also made sure that the cultural heritage of the city and the preservation of green spaces is at the forefront of our agenda. We have improved social access and reinforced governance, reinforced the networks within the city. We have promoted sustainable mobility with regards to the Sustainable Development Goals. And we have also promoted the acquisition of electrical vehicles when renovating our transport network. And we have collaborated with a multinational network as well as some Spanish companies. We vote for circular economy. We have organized the collecting of waste, creating cooperatives, and launched initiatives of using wastewater treated so that it was safe in order to water the green areas of Rabat. We are reusing and recycling water. We have also launched an integral energy green photovoltaic energy program. We have promoted the tertiary sector and, of course, supported green energy and, of course, solar energy. We have promoted the selection of waste. And within this context of this health crisis linked to the coronavirus, we have also promoted the use of digital platforms, the digital transformation for the majority of the services that we offer the population of our city of Rabat. Rabat is a city which houses different organizations, international organizations, and diplomatic representations. We are a green city. We are a heritage site from UNESCO since 2012 and has been declared the cultural capital city of Africa. At the beginning of next year, we hope to celebrate that COVID has disappeared from our life. And Rabat has signed all of the world agreements to fight against refugee and horrible situations, has, of course, adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, has been a pioneer city in terms of fighting against immigration, and has favored integration and cohabitation. And all of this is included in our municipal action plan, inscribed or linked to the national integration strategy of asylum, a national strategy of sustainable development. This is a project that is multilateral and that is sustained on sustainable development. We would like to also integrate it for public contracting and municipal contracting, and we would like to also favor decentralized cooperation with other cities, such as some French cities, Paris or Lyon, and of course with Seville. There is cooperation between Rabat and Montreal and Canada, and we are also partners of New York. All of this in order to foster the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals at a great scale. We have very many multilateral projects that are being developed, cooperating with Germany, for instance, and the migration ministries. We have cooperation projects with other cities, of course, in Europe. We are working hand in hand with their administrations and collaborate with them, sharing the objectives of the UN, such as ONU Habitat, but I won't list them all. Finally, we have to reinforce cooperation, reinforce the North and South cooperation so that the different local governments can go hand in hand and help their cities to implement the Sustainable Development Goals, to find financing mechanisms. And thank you all very, very much for your attention. And I find a very curious link of between all of those speakers today. The basic link is collaboration, and that has sprung from understanding that COVID really has brought us together and that we all have to face situations and learn from each other. At this point of our meeting, I think it's important to give the floor to the person that is going to present this Digital City Goals platform. And I would like to call Adrián Reina Hurtado to the floor, responsible for external action within Seville. I would like you to talk to us about this digital platform. I think the idea that you have transmitted is very, very important. We know that governments and local governments are the engine of change for societies. Especially, we are seeing this in climate change, but we are seeing it also in the fact that we have been the main containing body of the health crisis. More than a year ago, we had a meeting here in Seville in the last local governments forum we saw a need to continue collaborating and working together. So Seville and its municipality agreed and committed to creating a tool that all of the local governments could use in terms of collaboration so that our network can continue growing. We have created city goals, which is a cooperation tool so that we can all work together in time. In order to create this platform, we have followed the Sustainable Development Goals, of course, and their criteria. And I think these Sustainable Development Goals are the ones that are followed by all of the different nations in order to include sustainability and fight against climate change within their regions. We have classified the project regarding the different services that the cities provide. This is a proposal that we bring forth from Seville, but we are open to the different cities, of course, proposing their opinion, and this could vary. Mobility, waste, tourism, housing. This platform is now launched, and the videos of the different cities that we have seen today, those people and those representatives are already using these platforms. And we hope that these different cities are the ones that propose the objectives and projects that we decide to tackle. These projects we are already elaborating and working on so that other cities can ask and share their experiences, and objectives with regards to the needs that different cities have and that other cities would like to bring into their cities too. These are the cities that are already working: San Salvador, CC35, Porto, and Marrakesh. They are already collaborating. We also have an example of a project that is already uploaded. It's a very interesting project of an Seville urban innovation action to change an area of our hub in Seville, La Cartuja. It's a project that intends to limit the heat in that area, and it is in connection with the Sustainable Development Goals. In the project, you can see the objectives and the results. This project is active. The project will slowly go towards being finished, and the different cities will be able to check the progress. The city loops, or our objectives, City Loops is a project that is, of course, inscribed within the Sustainable Development Goals, and it really basically shares the spirit of this platform, shares the spirit of collaboration. The city of San Salvador maybe could have a problem with water and could come to this platform and understand that another city has solved this problem through a project and check it, make sure, and connect with this city and learn from their situation.
They can connect with the technician, the expert that has carried out this project. They can ask questions to be able to follow up on this project. The challenges are a way to cooperate to achieve a common goal. We have a local problem, but we're going to find a solution that can be used by different cities. The City Loops was carried out with 7 cities. 7 cities cooperated, and each in their own geographical area carried out the project, and we found a solution. So from this point onwards, the cities that are part of this network, together with Seville, must continue to cooperate and also upload their projects so that we can see what they're doing. Starting from tomorrow, you will receive in your email a guide, a handbook on how to join this and to better understand what we are doing so that other cities can benefit from our experience. We have carried out this experience. Rabat has another one. San Salvador has a different experience. So we want to bring together all these experiences to improve the lives of our citizens, because that is our goal. We want to obtain results, an outcome that will benefit the citizens that we are, that make up our cities. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful international projection. Please sit down. And it's also a wonderful goal for all the whole world, what we can achieve through this network. I think that it is now time to invite Juan Espada, the mayor of Seville, so that he can close this event. You can stand here between us and we can put on our masks. Well, thank you. Thank you, Manolo, Manuel, Bellido, Carmen, Jaime, Adrian, and of course, all the people who have participated in this meeting from their geographical area. This third forum, which is a virtual meeting of local governments, had a main goal, a primary goal, that was to see each other again without being able to hug, without being able to be physically together. But we wanted to remain in contact even if we were many miles away from each other. When we met in January 2019, no one could have imagined that we were going to have a global pandemic, that we were going to have a health problem of the magnitude of this one, nor we would see as many deaths as we have seen, and that is unfortunately growing. This pandemic has shown us many things. Probably the most important one, in my opinion, is the fragility of human beings, of the planet, and how interdependent we are amongst ourselves. The economy is global, but I think now more than ever, and after this experience with the pandemic, I think we have all realized that what happens in one place in the world can become a problem for the rest of the world. We have suffered this. We are still suffering it. The decisions made in one place or another will have an impact on the rest of the world. We have never seen this at such a huge dimension, but obviously we have to draw conclusions from all of this. The local governments and the representatives of these local governments that have taken the floor before me, in particular Rabat, who is a twin city, one of the first cities that twinned with Seville. We have had always a special feelings for this city. We have been especially in contact with them. I want to thank the mayor of Rabat for continuing to be in contact with us, because we want to also continue to work with them so that through Spain, through Morocco, Rabat, and Seville, we can continue to share a common destiny. I also wanted to thank the participation of my friend, the mayor of Chefchaouen, of course, the deputy mayor of Rostov, who has once again told us about what is going on in Russia with the energy that she always has, or the mayor of San Salvador, with whom we are sharing a beautiful process, an enriching process. They are now going through a constitutional reform. It is a process to enrich and consolidate a democracy that wants to move forward along a path that they want to share with others, sharing their knowledge, their experience. And we are also cooperating with them. Seville and San Salvador is cooperating because it really is worth it. It is worth our while. And I think that's one of the best things that we can do in our lives. So why are we here? Well, as the previous speakers have said, we are here because we had a commitment with all the cities that we shared this beautiful project in 2018 and 19. We wanted to create a network of cities that would work together. We wanted to be part of other networks of cities. And I want to especially thank the UCGL, this large government of world government of cities that supported this project from the outset because it is part of their goals, and I'm sure that the UCGL is the most important international organ body in which we see ourselves. We have seen the advances that have been achieved through the voices of the citizens, through the UN, and through the different levels of international governments that exist and that have a responsibility in all of this. Our commitment in 2019 was to continue to hold these forums that would allow us to exchange our experiences and to carry out common projects. And Seville and its municipally owned companies undertook to create a platform, a digital platform, that has become a tool that makes sense in itself. And we will again meet. We will continue to work together. There will be people from one city and another that will exchange visits, and we will be able to develop projects that we share in common. Technology has also shown us that we can work virtually, we can work online, and we can do this on a permanent basis. And this is why we think that since this year it was simply impossible to hold this forum on site, we wanted to create this digital online session to be able to introduce this platform so that we can start to include our experiences, our best experience, so that they are available to others. And in this way, we can identify who are the experts, we can evaluate the outcomes, and this is made available to any city that may need this expertise, this knowledge, so that the cities can manage that knowledge. I can assure you that the city of Seville and its municipally owned state companies whose CEOs are present here today are extremely interested in opening our experience to any city that wants to work with us, be it housing, water, waste, or any other area in which we have responsibilities. We want to do it through this platform, which is simply a visiting card, as it were. But we want to work directly with you, and we want you to also work with us. We want to continue to learn from these important cities, for example, the coalition of capital cities against the climate change in Quito. This is a new organization of Latin American and Caribbean countries that will underpin the work that has been carried out by the World Bank and that has held many events here in Seville. I am sure we will meet again next year. We will have overcome this pandemic. We will have put in place a vaccination plan that will allow us to open our borders, to travel by plane, to interconnect the citizens of one territory with another. This goes beyond simply meeting. This is the ability to connect the lives of many people who are working or trying to survive this situation that goes beyond our own individual capabilities. The vaccination will allow us to recover our lives, to travel again. However, the lessons that we have learned during this pandemic should be that we must not go back to what we already had. The lesson must be that there are other global threats, global challenges that still exist, and that may be even more serious moving forward. We have 10 years ahead of us that are absolutely crucial for the life on this planet. The Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, mentioned this the other day. He said that if we have been capable of overcoming this pandemic, if we're going to be able to move forward, that has been due to the human beings' resilience, because we have discovered a vaccine in record time, and because we have been able to manage adequately a terrible situation in a very short period. And this is without saying that there have been many lives lost. Our challenge now is to continue to work together, continue to research together to find the necessary resources so that we can fight against climate change. And by 2050, we must ensure that the planet is no longer threatened. And right now, the planet is threatened, and what we are doing right now is not moving forward at the adequate pace to be able to ensure that we have been able to do away with this threat. In the time between now and 2030, we have to be able to achieve the SDGs. And the result, the outcome of these efforts will depend on the cities. We know that we have our sight on the cities. We know that the citizens are aware of this, and those of us who are here who are responsible for these citizens must be aware of this. We have to have a urban diplomacy. We have to empower cities at the international level, and this has only one purpose, and this is to be able to carry out the necessary plans so that the measures that will lead to overcoming climate change can be truly be implemented. And this is why this SDGs are so important, so that we can achieve significant outcome. This is a summary of the SDGs that we all share. We must all be able to be proud of what we are doing. We must be able to consolidate this situation. We will continue to work in the coming months with the cities that are already present in this forum, but we will also open ourselves to other cities. At the European level, we have undertook an important challenge because we want to be at the forefront of climate change measures. We have a European Green Deal that the president of the EU has said that this is a most important challenge that the European Union is facing. The EU wants to be an example for others on how to mitigate and how to reduce the impact of climate change. This should mobilize us. This should lead the economic recovery that will be taking place in the coming months. I simply want to send my warm greetings to everyone. I want to encourage you. This is a fraternal greeting to all the cities that share a common goal, and this is to move forward so that the planet will have a future. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I hope to see you all next year, probably after the summer, and we will mention the dates very soon. Thank you very much. Well, then, we will all see each other again very soon.